We've decided to make some changes to the beach trip. My mother-in-law's voice dripped with fake sweetness through the phone. The resort has limited space, and well, your three are just so energetic. We think it's best if they sit this one out. I gripped the kitchen counter, watching my kids, Emma 8, Lucas 6, and Sophie 4, playing in the backyard through the window. They'd been counting down the days to this family vacation for months, their beach toys already packed. Let me get this straight, Linda. I kept my voice steady. You're uninviting my children from the annual family beach trip, but taking all their cousins. Oh, don't be so dramatic, Alexandra. It's just that Melissa's kids are better behaved at these sorts of places, and Jessica's twins are more resort appropriate. We're staying at the Diamond Beach Club this year. It's very exclusive. Of course it was. My sister-in-law Melissa's country club membership probably got them the booking. She never let anyone forget her husband's banking career or her designer wardrobe. The kids have been looking forward to this for months, I said, watching Sophie chase butterflies in her dinosaur t-shirt. They already picked out special shells to give their cousins. Well, perhaps if you and David focused more on etiquette and less on letting them run wild. Linda's words twisted like a knife. Besides, we've already finalized the arrangements. Melissa's girls need their own suite, and Jessica's twins require the ocean view. There simply isn't space. I thought about last year's beach trip when my kids had been the ones to help clean up after meals without being asked while their cousins played on tablets. How Emma had shared her beach toys with everyone, and Lucas had helped his younger cousin overcome his fear of waves. Does David know about this decision? I asked, mentioning my husband. Oh, he understands. It's for the best, really. The Diamond Beach Club has standards. Just then, I heard squeals of laughter from outside. Lucas had set up the sprinkler, and all three kids were running through it, their joy pure and uninhibited. No designer clothes, no forced manners, just genuine happiness. You're right, Linda, I said finally. The Diamond Beach Club does have standards, and thankfully, so do I. What's that supposed to mean? It means my children won't be anywhere they're not fully welcomed. Enjoy your exclusive vacation. I hung up before she could respond, my hands shaking but my resolve firm. The kids were still playing outside, blissfully unaware that their grandmother had just deemed them unworthy of the family vacation. David found me at the kitchen table that evening, after the kids were in bed. One look at my face, and he knew something was wrong. Your mother called, I said quietly. She's uninvited our kids from the beach trip. Apparently, the Diamond Beach Club is too exclusive for children who actually act like children. His face darkened. She did what? Oh, but Melissa's perfect princesses and Jessica's designer twins still get to go, I added, unable to keep the bitterness from my voice. They're resort appropriate. I'll talk to her, David started, but I shook my head. No, I'm done trying to make your family accept our kids for who they are. They're kind, they're happy, and they're perfectly behaved. If that's not good enough for your mother's precious resort vacation, then we'll make our own plans. David was quiet for a moment, then asked, What are you thinking? I pulled out my laptop, opening a familiar webpage. Remember that cute little beach house we looked at last year? The one on Crystal Cove? It's still for sale. Alex, that's a huge investment. You know that inheritance I got from my grandmother. I've been saving it for something special. What's more special than showing our kids they don't need anyone's approval to be worthy of wonderful things? As I clicked through the photos of the modest but charming beach house, I thought about Linda's dismissive tone, Melissa's stuck-up attitude, and all the times our children had been made to feel less than by their father's family. Besides, I added with a small smile, Crystal Cove is known for its sea turtle nesting season. The kids would love that way more than some stuffy resort. David looked at the photos, then at me. You're serious about this? Dead serious. Let them have their exclusive resort. We'll build something better. Memories our kids will cherish forever, in a place where they'll never have to apologize for being themselves. What I didn't tell David was that I'd already checked the weather patterns for the summer. The Diamond Beach Club sat on a stretch of coast notorious for its hurricane exposure. Crystal Cove, protected by a natural barrier island, was significantly safer. But that would be their problem to discover later. As I sent the email to the realtor requesting a viewing, my phone buzzed with a text from Linda. I hope you understand this is really for the best. The resort has such lovely etiquette classes for the other children. I didn't respond. Instead, I looked at the photos pinned to our fridge. Emma helping at the animal shelter, Lucas at his messy art show, Sophie proudly holding up a jar of bugs she collected. My wild, wonderful, uninhibited children who deserve so much better than being excluded by their own family. Let Linda have her exclusive resort vacation. We were about to create something far more valuable, a place where our children would never have to dim their light for anyone. Little did I know, summer had other plans for all of us. The beach house purchase moved faster than we expected. By early June, we were the proud owners of a cozy 3-bedroom cottage on Crystal Cove, just steps from the water. The kids' excitement when we showed them their new summer home made every penny worth it. "We can watch the sea turtles from here," Emma asked, pressing her face against the window of what would be their shared bedroom. "Better than that," I smiled. "There's a sea turtle conservation program that lets kids help monitor the nests. I've already signed you up as junior volunteers." Their eyes lit up with pure joy, the kind that no exclusive resort could ever match. Meanwhile, snippets of the family's luxury vacation plans kept trickling in through group chats I hadn't been removed from. Melissa posted photos of her daughter's custom-made resort wear. Jessica shared screenshots of the Diamond Beach Club's amenities. Linda couldn't stop talking about the private cabanas and formal dinners. "Did you see Mom's latest post?" David asked one evening as we painted the kids' room a cheerful seafoam green. "They've hired an etiquette coach for the cousins before the trip." I rolled my eyes. Because heaven forbid a child eat with the wrong fork while building sandcastles. The first hint that Karma had plans came in mid-June, a small notice about unusual weather patterns forming in the Atlantic. I saw Linda's worried posts about hurricane season starting early, but she quickly assured everyone that the Diamond Beach Club had excellent indoor activities. We spent weekends getting the cottage ready, letting the kids pick out decorations and help paint shells to hang on the walls. Sophie's collection of beach treasures grew daily. Tiny crab shells, smooth stones, and sea glass filled jars along her windowsill. Then, 2 weeks before their scheduled resort vacation, the weather reports turned serious. My phone rang on a Tuesday morning. Linda's name flashed on the screen. "Alexandra," she said, her voice tense. "I suppose you've seen the weather reports?" "About the potential hurricane?" "Yes, we've been monitoring it for our area too." "Well, the Diamond Beach Club is being cautious. They're suggesting we might need to postpone." I could hear the panic beneath her forced calm. Non-refundable deposits had already been paid. Melissa's girls' custom wardrobes couldn't be returned. "That's unfortunate," I replied, watching through the window as Lucas helped Sophie build a sandcastle. Crystal Cove is actually protected from the worst storms by the barrier island. We're still good to go with our plans. The silence on the other end was delicious. About that, Linda's voice turned syrupy sweet. "We were thinking, since you have that cottage, perhaps we could all—" "Oh, Linda," I cut in, matching her false sweetness. "The cottage isn't really up to resort standards. No etiquette coaches or private cabanas. The children might have to actually play in the sand and get their feet wet. I wouldn't want to subject your more refined grandchildren to such conditions." Another long pause. "Alexandra, be reasonable. We're talking about family here." Exactly what I said when you uninvited my children from your vacation. The weather reports grew more ominous over the next few days. The Diamond Beach Club finally announced they were closing for the week of the planned vacation. No refunds. The family group chat exploded. "Melissa, this is a disaster. The girls' resort wardrobes will be wasted." Jessica, the twins were still looking forward to the supervised beach meditation sessions. Linda, "Alexandra, surely you can understand the position we're in. Your cottage is the only option now." I let them stew for a few hours before responding. "While we'd love to help, we've already promised the kids they could invite their friends from the Sea Turtle program. You know, the ones who don't mind getting sandy or playing tag on the beach. The cottage will be quite full, with happy, energetic children enjoying their summer vacation exactly as children should." David, reading over my shoulder, tried not to smile. "You're evil, you know that." "No," I corrected him. "I'm a mother protecting her children's joy. There's a difference." The next message came from Linda directly. "We've already lost the resort deposits. Do you really want to punish the whole family because of one small misunderstanding?" I looked at the photo I'd just taken of our kids, covered in sand, helping a marine biologist mark a new turtle nest, their faces glowing with purpose and excitement. "No punishment intended," I wrote back. just a valuable lesson about what really matters. By the way, the kids made these beautiful shell wind chimes in craft class today. Too bad their cousins will miss out on making their own. But I'm sure the resort's delayed etiquette classes will be just as meaningful. I attached the photo of my happy, messy, perfectly imperfect children. David wrapped his arms around my waist, watching the message bubbles appear and disappear as his family struggled to respond. You know they're going to hold this against us forever, he said. Maybe, I agreed. But our kids will remember this as the summer they learned that being themselves was more valuable than fitting someone else's standards. That's worth any amount of family drama. Outside, a baby sea turtle made its way to the ocean as our children watched in wonder, their cousins' formal resort wear and etiquette lessons forgotten in the magic of real life unfolding before them. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even, it's about getting better. And as another hurricane warning lit up my phone, I couldn't help but smile at the perfection of nature's timing. The hurricane, as predicted, hit the Diamond Beach Club area hard. Meanwhile, Crystal Cove remained peaceful, protected by its natural barrier island, just as I'd researched months ago. Our cottage became a haven of summer memories while my in-laws scrambled to salvage their ruined vacation plans. Mom, look. Emma called out one morning, pointing to tracks in the sand. Another turtle nest. We gathered around as the conservation team marked the spot. My phone buzzed with yet another message from Linda. Surely you can make some room. The children are devastated about missing their vacation. I watched as Lucas carefully helped measure the turtle tracks while Sophie took notes in her junior volunteer notebook. These were the same children deemed too unruly for a resort vacation, now trusted by marine biologists to help with their research. The cottage is full of happy children, I replied, just not the ones you approved of. The photos we posted told the story better than words ever could. Our kids leading beach cleanups, Emma giving presentations to visitors about sea turtle conservation, Lucas teaching younger children how to identify different shells, and Sophie being interviewed by the local news about being the youngest Turtle Patrol volunteer. The comments poured in. What amazing children. Such wonderful community involvement. Future marine biologists in the making. Linda's response was telling. I suppose some children are better suited to outdoor activities. Yes, I wrote back. Some children are better suited to actually making a difference instead of learning which fork to use for salad. David found me on the deck that evening, watching the sunset. Mom's beside herself, he said, sitting next to me. Apparently, Melissa's girls are refusing to wear their resort outfits now. They want Turtle Patrol shirts instead. I couldn't help but laugh. How tragic. Designer wardrobes defeated by cotton t-shirts and a worthy cause. The breaking point came when the local paper featured an article on the Sea Turtle program, prominently showcasing our children. The photos showed them in their volunteer shirts, sandy and sunburned but beamy with pride, as they explained their work to the reporter. Linda's call came immediately. I suppose you think you've proved your point, she said when I answered. No point to prove, Linda. My children are exactly who they're meant to be, kind, curious, and passionate. They don't need a resort's approval to make a difference in the world. We could have given them connections, social skills, opportunities. They've made their own connections, I interrupted. With marine biologists, conservationists, and people who value substance over style. Those are the opportunities that matter. The summer ended with a celebration at the cottage. The kids had helped protect dozens of turtle nests, made lasting friendships with their fellow volunteers, and learned more about confidence and self-worth than any etiquette class could teach. As we packed up to head home, Emma handed me a jar of carefully collected shells. Can we give these to the cousins? She asked. They look kind of sad in their photos. My heart swelled with pride. Even after being rejected, my daughter's first instinct was still kindness. Of course we can, sweetie, and maybe next summer, if they're interested, they can join you on Turtle Patrol. The following week, we received an unexpected letter from the Diamond Beach Club. They were permanently closing due to hurricane damage. Linda's non-refundable deposits were lost. Meanwhile, Crystal Cove was featured in a national magazine for its successful sea turtle conservation program. The article included a photo of our kids helping a nest of hatchlings make their way to the sea. At a strained family dinner months later, Linda sighed. I suppose there's something to be said for more natural vacation experiences. I looked at my children, who were eagerly showing their cousins their Turtle Patrol badges and photos of baby turtles. There's something to be said for accepting people, especially children, exactly as they are, I replied. Sometimes the most precious things in life don't require a dress code. The next summer, our cottage hosted not just our kids, but their cousins too. Designer clothes replaced by volunteer shirts, etiquette lessons forgotten in favor of early morning turtle patrols. Even Melissa had to admit that her daughter seemed happier making a difference than making appearances. As I watched all the cousins work together to mark a new turtle nest, Linda appeared beside me. I was wrong, she said quietly, about the children, about everything. Yes, you were, I agreed. But they're teaching us all something valuable, aren't they? That true worth isn't about being resort appropriate. It's about being real, being passionate, and being kind. Later that evening, as the kids roasted marshmallows and shared turtle stories around our beach bonfire, I realized we had built something far more valuable than any luxury resort could offer. A place where children could be children, where differences were celebrated, and where the only standards that mattered were those of kindness and authenticity. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't about making others regret their choices, it's about creating something so wonderful that they can't help but wish they'd chosen differently. And as another turtle nest hatched under the summer stars, I knew we had given our children something priceless: the confidence to know that being themselves was always enough.